There it is.
All right, we're here. All right, cool. Look, I'm your boy, CHAZ Evans, and look, this is what we got coming out here on the 3 Count Podcast debate show, CHAZ and Friends. All right, Usos permanently coming back as a tag team. We're talking, what else are we talking about, guys? Oh, we're talking about the Eliminator match and whether it's got a purpose or not. And then also the big one that I feel like everyone's going to get controversial and everyone's going to get their panties in a bunch. Right? Should wrestlers give their opinions on politics? That we also got TEMP check. We got somebody's dumbass of the week because Damien's not here, and I'll tell you why when we come back. But play that disclaimer because we need that reminder before we get into it. All right, CHAZ and Friends, let's go.
Warning. The following program is a collection of idiots talking about the happenings in the sports entertainment world. It is meant to be comedically informative. The opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their bosses, or the Infinite Plus network. There may be some out-of-pocket things said on this show because this is how we talk to each other. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further. Your homies, the 3 Count Podcast. P.S. Please don't sue us.
It's your boy, your nephew, your cousin. It's the Don. CHAZ Evans, you're checking out the hottest podcast in the world, the 3 Count Podcast.
Hit him with a 3 count. Pin him to the ground and the crowd go wild, man down, know what y'all like. Hit him with a 3 count. On the top row, crowd already know how I fly him to the flow like. Hit him with a 3 count. And your boy real.
Yo, it's your boy, your cousin, your nephew. It's the Capital Region's best kept secret and the Don of the Mid-Atlantic. And quite frankly, your greatest host of all wrestling podcasts. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Don, CHAZ Evans. And let me introduce to you my friends. Introducing first, and let me make sure I get him on the big screen, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the landlord of the Dog Pound. All right, he runs this show because quite frankly, I really don't do anything. I tried to do work today, and he already did the work for me. So, with that being said, he's also the current, he's also the reigning, and he is also the defending. He is a fighting champion. He's a champion that'll make your champion cry to his mommy and say, why am I not a champion like him? He is the biggest pusher of pure ignorance. Ladies and gentlemen, he is member 742 of Pure Ignorance. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the Red Dog.
It is the Air Force Banner Intel Specialist, the one you call on when you need to get a job done, and your friendly neighborhood Red Dog. Also, the man who drops the biggest bombs of them all. And I'm glad that we have a number on it now. Like, I'm glad that there's a number on my PI number at 742.
So guess what? I just already forgot what number I said. So what was that? So I can write it down.
742.
742. All right, cool. Because
I'm gonna go ahead and just say 13 because 7 plus 4 plus 3, that's just 14. That makes work for me.
Yeah. I literally just put 3 random numbers off the dome. So all right, cool. 742. That's now your I'm gonna start getting Pure Ignorance ID cards. And just giving everybody a number. Alrighty, folks. And let me introduce to you next. He's last, but he's certainly not the least. Guess what? He's got a longer streak than Damien right now. Ladies and gentlemen, all right? He's a survivor, folks, okay? That man right there, let me put him on the big screen. He's going to hate this, but hey, let me show you. That's the face of a survivor, okay? That man took on a hurricane head first, and he beat the shit out of it. Oh, you're right. It is 2. You're right. He beat the shit out of 2 hurricanes.
Back to back.
And he can live to tell the story. He is literally the only man that Damien is scared of, ladies and gentlemen. And I will say that to Damien's face. And I'll say it again. He is the only man that Damien is scared of. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the Lord Twitch, House of Grays, as my power flickers again.
I'm just saying that I'm not saying nothing, if you know what I'm saying.
Wise wisdom and wise words spoken from a wise man. All righty, if you haven't already done so, make sure you hit that follow button on all your favorite social media platforms, whether it's Twitter at 3count_pod, or I'm sorry, X 3count_pod, Instagram, Facebook, everything else is 3countpod, all one word, no caps, no space. Shout out to all of our live viewers right now on Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, X, Rumble, and the Infinite Plus Network.
That's right, on delay, Infinite Plus Network. Hi guys.
That thing.
We don't care about your show. We're gonna bring that joke back. We don't care about the show that we were just interrupting. All your
We really don't, because
trap
we're
star
more
rapper. We don't care about that. We don't care about the movie. Just know the movie. Let me tell you guys how this movie ends. Okay, spoiler, but no spoilers. Credits. That's how it ends. Just credits.
There's an opening, a middle, and an end.
And it tells you who was each actor in the credits.
Exactly. Some weird music plays.
If you go on
Let's get down
IMDb,
to
you can
it.
actually see me. I'm on IMDb now.
Hey.
That is true. You are. That is.
I do have an IMDb credit now.
Nice.
That's crazy. You got one before I did, and I actually
Let's go.
I went to college for it, and you got it. Yeah, that's crazy.
Great.
I'm a
All right,
talented actor. What can I say?
Cliff, before we get into temp check, what's coming out on Now Into the Ring? I know we got some big things coming up, big things planned. So what's coming up on Now Entering the Ring?
Yeah, so Now Into Ring is coming up on its 400th episode.
400!
400. It's been crazy to think that's kind of been like, and we started this as like a whole just whatever it was going to be. And now here we are coming close to 400. But no, so we do have our next episode coming up. You can be seeing J.P. O'Reilly is the man from Maine. He's a deathmatch wrestler, but he was a lot of fun to have a conversation with. Him and I legitimately we talk about it on the podcast too, but we I got brought into NWWE New World Wrestling Extreme, and I legitimately was there just gonna hang out, and I didn't know if I was gonna work or not. I brought my gear just in case. Rule number one. And the promoter of the show was just like, "Hey, do you have a gear?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, I need you in the back, and you have 10 minutes to call your match, get dressed, and get ready for a pre-show opening." And that's exactly what happened. I got dressed, sent my music over, got dressed, called the match, and right when we were like, "You got the match? I got the match. All right, we good? All right, cool." All of a sudden, my music hit, and I just walked through the curtain, and we just ran our match. So you guys get to see our interview though.
All right, let's get to it. Temp check. For those of you that don't know what temp check is, here are the rules. Me and my friends, we're going to give you our hottest, our coldest, and as a bonus, we're going to give you our match of the week. I'm going to tell you off right now. My match of the week is coming up from Dynamite. It's been a while that Dynamite has impressed me like that, where smack dab in the middle of the week, I have my match of the week, and nothing has surpassed that. And so I'm going to start it off. My match of the week, Mercedes Moné and Queen Animata. Oh, my goodness. Let me tell you something. You want to talk about two black women wrestling? Okay. They went up there and wrestled. I enjoyed everything about that match, which will lead into my coldest wrestler, Camille. Yeah. What's the point of having a heavy if you're not going to use the heavy? I think that's really why she's there for what? She's not helping Mercedes win matches. Mercedes still winning matches clean. Smack down in the middle of the ring. Why you got Camille, who is this big force. She's intimidating. She's bigger than half, not even probably half, 90% of the roster that you have that as far as the women's concerned. What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, why do you have her with Mercedes if you're not going to use her? So that's my coldest wrestler. My hottest wrestler of the week, though, is the Motor City Machine Guns. I'm a fan. Sorry, not sorry. The match was cool. I'm just happy to see that they're there. So that's my hottest wrestlers. Motor City Machine Guns. Coldest wrestler, Camille. Match of the week, Mercedes Moné and the Queen. All right, who wants to take this one?
Let Twitch go.
All right, go ahead, Twitch.
All right, so to piggyback off of CHAZ, my hottest wrestler of the week, Motor City Machine Guns. I was hyped about this, knowing that it was coming this Friday, and it felt like it took forever to get here. My coldest wrestler, I am not going to explain why until we get to that segment, Kevin Owens.
Mm.
Don't look at me like that, but when we get to that subject, you'll understand why.
Okay.
My match of the week was
I'm gonna
not
tell you right now, though. Sorry to interrupt you, but if you didn't see, we took that subject out.
What? Did you?
changed-
Oh yeah, we're not doing. Oh, you're right. We're not doing
Yeah,
it.
because remember we did it. We did it. Okay, so full transparency for all those out there. Yeah, we had originally a topic 3 for Kevin Owens, whether we agreed with him or not, and then we changed it. Remember?
Oh, we did. Okay, then here, I'll explain it. We have seen Kevin. Excuse me, it's been a long day.
It's full.
We have seen Kevin Owens play the victim so many times now that I would never turn on Randy Orton. You were the one who hit Randy Orton.
That's what I was. When he said that, I said the same thing. I was like, "Didn't you hit him first? Like, I could see if
Yes.
Randy hit you first."
Yes.
But wait a minute.
You
go ahead.
cracked the shit out of him.
He did.
And then
Keep cooking,
you are
though. Keep
going
cooking.
to cry
cooking.
and play the victim on how you would he chose Cody over me. You are one step away from saying it should have been me.
I mean, technically, it was him.
We have seen Kevin Owens play the victim so many times that as much as I love Kevin Owens, Kevin Steen, whatever you know him as, I would have rather you come up with a different reason other than you chose him over me. I would have never done this to you. I'm a crying little bitch right now.
Okay, I like it.
And my match of the week, it wasn't the best match of the week, but I liked that we're seeing more of Lash Legend. So I'm going with Lash Legend and Piper Niven. It was, like I said, it wasn't the best, but I like that we're seeing other talent that aren't on the main roster right now at least get somewhat of a push.
Yeah.
And to me, I think Lash Legend has a bunch of talent that has yet to be tapped.
Okay. Well, to keep a joke continuing, my coldest wrestler of the week is see me for sure.
Snarf.
Snarf.
Chef French.
Yeah, so coldest wrestler clearly it will be Chris, just because that's a running gag here. My hottest wrestler of the week, actually, Twitch, you said it, Lash Legend. I feel like we don't give a lot of love to a lot of female talent. I mean, I know you did, CHAZ, just now, so props up. But yeah, no, Lash Legend and like the feat of like, and I don't want to. Okay, when I say this, I mean this in love. But picking up Piper Niven and then just slamming.
That's
her.
impressive.
That's impressive. And not only that, we've seen her pick up like Otis, NXT, and just move after move. Like she's just a specimen, and she's amazing. I can't wait to see her continue to grow. There was some in the match, like, to be fair, like I'll critique a little bit. There was a couple stutter steps that I was like, oh shit, you can still see some green feet. But hey, you know what? For the most part, I loved seeing Lash Legend get in there and put in work. So I was like, yo, that's
now correct me if I'm wrong. She hasn't been with WWE long at all, right?
No, I think she's just in a couple years.
That's okay. So
yeah, she within the last 5 years. Yes, she's been.
I think she's 3.
Right,
she's 3 years in because she's been with at least Dar for a while.
Yeah,
correct.
They had the whole little faction, so I know that. And then she had started up. She was kind of doing her own single run for a little bit, and then she loaded up with Dar, and then now you see her kind of doing her thing. But yeah, no, much love to Last Legend. Like she was looking like a beast. And then my match of the week also coincidentally comes from SmackDown because I love this match for the things that were done in the match, but DIY, Street Profits, and Pretty Deadly, like that was such a fun match, and to see how it ended when you saw Montez pinning, and he just didn't have the legal person. You're like, dang, like my heart goes to you because your team's running and then they're on full, and you kind of hit the big move, take yourself out of it, you put your arm over the top, and you think you have it, but you don't have it. And I don't know, but there's some cool parts to it though, because the little confrontation back and forth between Tommaso Ciampa and Montez Ford was kind of cool, where like Tommaso pulls him back and pushes him out the way and stuff, and you can see it's kind of leading to something else just from the spur of it. So I'm like, all right, we on the right path. We doing some good things. So I really liked it.
All righty. Before we get into the first topic, go check on the comments.
Bet. So we have the coldest is the Wyatt 6. I can't really. I agree, but I don't agree, right? And I only agree a little bit because you're right. Like after American Made, like we just haven't seen them, but also there's been like teases to them, so I'm kind of like liking that Miz is actually the new focal point. He said gotta have faith though.
Gotta.
Poor Twitch. It's Slim Biscuit. What about me? What about KO? I do. I like that. I know you want to tap that. Put him in the WWE Hall of Fame. What are we talking about? Chris? Pretty sure it's gotta be. Pretty Deadly. Ugh.
Pretty Deadly can work.
Pretty Dreadful. No.
I'm not on the train yet. I still go to like. I'm not saying they don't like they can't work. It's just I
don't disagree.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
But you don't have to try to like them. You could be like me. I don't like them, and it's because they're always like, "Yes, boy."
Annoying.
Stuck in my head. They're so annoying that I'm like, you guys are doing your job so well. Like I do not like you guys. I don't like you, and I know I'm not supposed to like you.
Why?
And the previous Pretty Deadly tag team was better. Partial, but I do like Pretty Deadly. I think they're a lot of fun.
All right, let's get to it. Let's talk about it. Let's get to that first topic. All right, the Usos. The Usos. So look, if you didn't see Monday Night Raw or if you didn't watch Friday Night SmackDown this week, you're missing cinema. You're missing the best Nickelodeon, all right, sitcom, all right, without the sound effects. Look, okay, when the eventual reunion happened, okay, because we know that's where we're building up to. We're building up to the Bloodline reunion, and everyone's going to come back. We're going to do Bloodline versus Bloodline, like officially. So when that does happen, would you rather see them back as a tag team permanently or to go back to their solo runs? Let's start off with you, Cliff, then we'll go Twitch, then me.
I want them back as their solo runs. I like main event Jey Uso. I like what he's doing. I think with Jimmy being injured and then just now coming back and starting to get things started, I think now you can kind of get that chance for him to focus on his career and start getting his stuff moving in a positive direction. Or even in a negative direction, wherever you want to go, face or heel, doesn't really matter. But I just want to see him kind of have a solo run of his own. But I do want to see them kind of just come back together every so often and work as a tag team, and then bounce off and do their own thing. But yeah, I think right now I'd like to see them just stay separate and not worry about it.
There are a handful. And I do mean like 3 when I say a handful of matches that I would like to see the Usos in a tag team with. Motor City Machine Guns is now one of them. But much like Cliff said, man, when Jimmy got hurt, seeing Jay step up and embrace this role of main event Jey Uso has really given life back to him because for the longest time, I feel like now I know they did the bloodline thing, but I feel like they got stale for a while, hence the breakup. Uh, I'm with Cliff. I want to see the solo runs. I would like to see a few more tag team matches, but all in all, I feel like the Usos have kind of run their course as tag teams, especially when you have such younger talent coming in.
Yeah, oh man, I was like, with all the tag teams that are coming in right now, like I just could not imagine them going and like not having like a solid one, like big solid tag run where they get to work with people like like you said, Motor City Machine Guns clearly is one.
Yeah.
God is another one for me that I
Yep.
want to see them hit,
Same.
and then OTM. I want OTM to come up to the main roster and
Okay,
the
I didn't even
Usos.
think about that.
And then, of
CHAZ
course,
looks like he's over there just boiling.
Because
What's up? Speak your truth.
it's I don't want to fall into the Hardy trend. And when I say the Hardy trend, you go, all right, cool. Yes, there's a what like we always put the Hardys. They're one of the greatest tag teams, hands down. You can argue whoever where you want to position them. They're top 5, hands down. Like argue whatever position, but they're top 5. Now, when you talk solo runs, who's the guy with solo runs out of the Hardys? Who is it?
Jeff.
Jeff.
Matt.
Jeff.
Matt.
Okay. Count on one hand how many world titles Matt Hardy has won.
Didn't he have a couple at TNA?
I'm talking WWE.
Jeff.
Okay.
It's just,
TNA. It's Matt.
I
all
just like
day
this whole
long.
conversation just happening, and then everybody's like, "Yo, who do you think?" I was like, "Matt, Jeff." Why
Lead 'em.
Matt?
Like, well, I just like, wait a minute, what? Like, so anyway, Jeff, right now, we're gonna fall into that same trend. I'm not gonna say I don't want to say we are, but if we're gonna always go, all right, cool, Jay's always superior than Jimmy, and I don't think that's necessarily fair because of the fact that because Jimmy got hurt and Jay was still there and they were doing this bloodline storyline, like it was one of those in the right place, right time moments. The Usos still to this day is the best tag team on the planet. Like they're one of the best tag teams, period. Like bar none. The Usos, like if you can go back over their accomplishments and like the accolade, the championships, like what? I mean, tag team of the year, 2018, 2022, 2014, 20 like these, they're no scrub. Like they're not just a makeshift tag team. These two were like they're brothers, and they're a good tag team. Like if you want to argue it, you can argue that the Usos are better than the Hardys as far as the tag team's concerned. All right, cool. No argument on that one. Bet.
Yeah.
So I'd rather would see, and like we were just saying, to the point of this tag team division is really, honing in and coming together. I want to see programs, not just matches. I want to see programs. The Machine Guns versus the Usos OTM. Like all these different tag teams that y'all got bringing up. Like Usos and DIY. Schmuck. Okay? Schmuck. So I've always been a big Usos fan. So I'm just I'd rather see them come back as a tag team. Like they can still go off and do singles run, but why they don't have to be broken up. You don't have to be a team and break up. You know what I'm saying? So I would rather see them still stay as a team.
I mean, that's fair, but the problem that I kind of see is that like, and it's gonna sound really weird when I say it this way, is that Jay's come so far, right? That I feel like going back to a tag team and running a permanent tag spot he's outgrown it, if that makes sense. It's almost like watching, like how do I want to think about it? Finn, right? If Finn Balor going back and doing the Demon, right? We've seen Finn Balor do the Demon, and we've seen Finn Balor, tear it up, right? And then Finn He's not done the Demon, but he's continued to grow in the role that he's in with Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Now, do you imagine him going back and doing the Demon? You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like he's stepping backwards into a role. And I don't want to say like Jay is by far, like, you are 100% right when they're an incredible tag team. But to tell Jay, like, hey man, your single run is kind of over, we're just gonna put you back in the tag division, just feels Kofi-ish. You mean like Kofi wins the title, has this run with it, and then they're like, all right, back to tag teams you go. Like, just doesn't feel right. If that makes sense.
No, it does. It makes it feel like everything you just put into Jay was a waste of time.
Yeah. Like you're saying, like, you're not the guy.
Yeah. I don't think necessarily we could waste the time. I mean, it this fits into the story and the overall story. I feel like this was a prime point in the story, for us. So I'm gonna say call it a waste of time. But I just feel like that was
just
the
imagine
obvious,
this, right?
That's the obvious next point in the story would be that, Jay leaves. All right, Jay finds success without the bloodline. So when the bloodline needs him, it's he's already there. So I don't see. It's hard to say that it's a waste of time.
Well, I mean, from that aspect, I understand your point that you're coming back to that point, right? That you're coming back into it. You're coming back to work that angle, right? That you're like, all right, we can come back. Jay can come back and work with the bloodline whenever, right? But just imagine this, though, right? And since we're talking about it, the way that your point kind of sounded, right, was that, let's say Roman right now, this incredible one with the tribal chief, right? All of a sudden, let's say, you just tag him back up with Moxley and Seth, like, do the Shield thing. That's almost how that felt when you were talking about Jay going back to being a permanent tag team with Jimmy.
Sense. I see
like,
what you're saying.
We're just kind of like, not really. It's almost like you were kind of like brushing off and just kind of saying, hey, we're going back. But how you just explained it makes it sound better, because it's like, hey, Jay, we understand that you found all the success on your own. Now we just need your help we're going to need your help to help us vault over whenever we need it. But then almost, does that become too predictable, where it's like when Jay tags up with the bloodline, does it, like, you're almost guaranteeing that he's going to win? Like, that his team's going to win? Like, how do we, you know what I mean? There's like, they're going to have to be a balance to this somehow. Like, that's why I was like, I'd like to see the nostalgia effect of him coming back and working tag programs with Jimmy and the Usos, making runs at like the tag titles. But eventually, like, it's going to be Jay getting pushed to the world title. And then what do? We just tell him, like, oh, well, you lost the world title, so let's just put you back in the tag division for a little bit and let you cook. And then, when we're ready, we'll just move you to a single slot. Like, how does that next move look? You know what I mean? I know we're looking way ahead of it.
So you think they'll give Jay the world title?
I would like so. I mean, he's got the Intercontinental title, which means they see some faith in him. And I know that Braun also had that title too. And you saw Sammy with it, and Sammy was just challenging Gunther for the title, So, I mean, I think they see something.
I think he's going to get the opportunity to challenge for it. Do we actually get world champion Jey Uso? It's possible. It's a 50-50 shot. CHAZ up there shaking his head no, but
the funny thing, I'm shaking my head, but then I go, well, people were saying that about Jeff, and then he won that belt more than once.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
not only that, he beat Edge and Triple H for it. Like,
exactly right, exactly, of all people,
Yeah.
So crazy things have happened. So I stopped.
And what I do like too, right now, is that like Hunter is building up like this main event scene, so that like if Jay was the person to knock off Gunther, you have a whole lot of other people already in this pot who are still fighting for that title, and they're all just fighting underneath. Punk, Drew, Sheamus, Seth, Pete Dunne. You know what I mean? Like, all these guys are right there, like, still battling for this position. So it works.
Let's see what the comments say. The comments look like it's bumping over there. I'm checking over here. Okay. Comments look like it's bumping. Let's see. Fandango.
And Breeze. Ellen Breeze. Breezango. That was the team name, not Pretty
Yup.
Deadly. But yeah,
The Fashion Police.
Fashion Police. Yes, the Fashion Police. That's right. That was a great segment. I miss those
So
segments.
do
Man.
I.
I don't care as long as the SWO break up. They're not gonna break up. You're gonna
No.
get you're gonna get a united faction here soon. Is probably what's gonna happen.
Jay is the
Jay,
2020 Kofi.
that's fair. That's so
Yeah.
fair.
I don't want to disagree with it, but it's
Yeah. Top 20, maybe not top 5. Maybe top 5 in the last 15 years. Are we talking about tag teams?
I think he's talking about Chaz's comment of the Usos being
Oh, yeah.
greatest tag team.
No, the Hardys. The Hardys.
Okay.
Yeah, the Hardys being in the top 20, maybe not top 5. I don't know, man. Maybe top 5 in the last 15 years. I would put all time wise, Hardys are in the top 5. Like, there's no argument to that. All
Yeah, that's hard not to put them in the top 5. Like,
More DUIs titles.
that's just mean.
That's both. That's both teams.
Yeah, I was like, which team? Because they both got it. Doesn't it hurt Braun if they continue to push Jay? Actually,
No, because Braun's getting the belt back on Monday. He's getting the belt back tomorrow. But I'm not watching. I'm watching the Ravens tomorrow.
I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna hold you to that comment. And if it doesn't happen,
I know. All right, but like the thing is this: the way they set this up, and I think when Jay's saying the next time I see you is gonna be different, solidified that for me. For me, when they made the match, I went, "Oh, okay. So what you call it? They're gonna get involved next week, right?"
Yeah.
And especially when he showed up on SmackDown, because that shocked me. I didn't think he was gonna show up on SmackDown.
touche.
He showed up on SmackDown and got in Solo's face, and I went, "Oh yeah. You losing that belt on Monday." I don't see Solo and the way how this bloodline, they don't let nothing slide. Like Solo don't let nothing slide. The of the little, like the Bible say, a mustard seed of faith. So look, the mustard seed that you try, like that little size, that little bit, that's how much you get to slide. Nah, it's off rip a beat down. You see how you look? You see what they did to Roman 2 weeks in a row?
Back to back. Yeah.
You look, y'all watch. Look, you see what happened. Jay gonna be hurt, dog.
Is he what, 42, 43? No,
39.
you said it. You said it. He was 39. Like Mr. Golden said that later.
Okay.
That, okay, 39. Usos 100 times better than SWO. I mean, if you weren't watching God in New Japan, like I would implore you.
I would really like to know what his hatred of the SWO is.
I think it's just the idea that everybody gets put into it, like every Samoan gets put into it, like the NWO.
But these are all legitimate. These are all like legitimate family members.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all tied up. But I think that's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the pretty deadly. Fashion Police was the pretty deadly. Or pretty deadly.
Okay,
so the Hardys. Better than the Horsemen, Freebirds, Triple H, and Michaels.
I don't think the Freebirds are all that good, to be completely honest.
No, me neither.
I'm gonna give you a hot, and that's a hot take. I don't think the Freebirds are all that. Look, and that's coming from somebody who's legitimately watched a Freebird match recently. So I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying they're bad. I don't see the hype behind the Freebirds as everyone else does. At least back in the day. That's just me. That's my opinion. I
think Freebirds are a top 10 team. They're not gonna be my top 5. And as far as Education go,
I don't even put the Freebirds top 10.
Education definitely being are worth the discussion of being in the top 5 if you're only talking about WWE. But if we're talking about other promotions, clearly Edge and Christian weren't one of those guys. Because when I think of other teams, like, let me be real, right? Like when WWE did like the 100 greatest tag teams or 50 greatest
I remember that.
Yeah. It was Hardys, it was the New Day, the Usos, the Dudleys. And I think ENC was number 5. If not, no, it was the Hart Foundation. They were in there. So I mean, those guys, like those are WWE's tag teams, that they said, and you didn't have the Briscoes, you didn't have the Blackjacks, you didn't have those guys that were in in those top 5 categories. So, and even DX, I don't even think that DX cracked the top 10, like if I remember right. So, you know, and I think Undisputed Era was even in the top 20, and they were a brand new tag team.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think for me, I personally can agree with the Road Warriors being in the top 5 because the Road Warriors to me is one of the greatest tag teams of all time. But the Hardys have held titles in every single promotion minus like what AEW, and that's just because they were on the run to hold the titles, and then you know one or both of them either got hurt and they couldn't really do it, or something happens where you know someone gets locked up and they have to like hold them.
Fucked up in that Anarchy in the Arena match.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Or Jeff decided to go through like 6 chairs while he's doing a swanton off the top. Like, I mean, so yeah. So I mean, just things didn't happen. But every time we see the Hardys, we're always excited about seeing them. So I think saying the Hardys in top 5, yeah, I think.
I'm curious to ask this question real quick. Who is your number 1 tag team?
Me?
Yeah.
All time?
Yeah.
Or WWE? We have
WWE.
WWE is a New Day.
Okay. CHAZ?
WWE?
Yeah.
I'm trying not to pick the New Day. That's the problem.
I mean, you can. You are allowed
I don't know. I want to give a different pick. The Usos.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say if it's not the New Days, it has to be the Usos. Like when it comes to WWE. But all time, I'm going to put it down there, all time is Road Warriors. Great tag team.
All right, I'm gonna give you the the top 5 from that list they give. Remember that? So number 1, I'm gonna give you the top 5 because number 1 is the New Day. Okay. Number 2 is the Hardys. Number 3 is the Hart Foundation.
Yep.
Number 4 is Edge and Christian. Number 5 is the Dudleys.
I was about to say
the Road Warriors were 6.
Yep.
Usos 7. New Age Outlaws 8. I'm just gonna go to 10. 9 Brothers of Destruction. 10 the British Bulldogs. So that's their top 10.
Yep.
Damn.
I'm just saying DX is not on that list. New Age Outlaws are, but not Shawn and Hunter.
Because what do you think? When does?
But you know what the crazy thing was? That list is kind of flawed out because I remember they didn't include teams that strictly wrestled at WCW because Harlem Heat was not on that list.
Right. Yeah, they weren't on the list. Right.
Hold on a second. So I'm just waiting for the eventual Braun and Gunther showdown thing. I can't wait to see Braun and Gunther.
Very soon, I think.
DX is 21.
That's right, because wasn't Undisputed Era 20?
Yes. Undisputed Era is 20.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And then
remember,
Shield is
they
22.
didn't have a run. Who was
this is your face. We just bitch slapped it.
Yeah. The Shield is 22.
That's right.
Ooh.
That is. I remember that was low. Like that is the top 10 team right there. Whatever iteration you want to run. Wherever I forget where the Freebirds were on that too. I think they were top 20, but wherever they are, the Shield has to be above that. Because you can't tell me that all 3 men are Grand Slam champions, multiple time tag team champions in different iterations, and you can't tell me that. Like, if you're gonna have the New Day be number 1, clearly.
I mean, they have the Rock and Sock connection at 16.
I remember that too.
Wait a minute. Wait. The Rock and Sock was 16?
Yes.
Yeah, that list is crazy. It was a crazy list. Because I think, like, I forget. I know that Soul Connection was on that list too.
Did Vince Russo write this list?
No. You would think so. Guess what? I don't even think the Freebirds aren't even on the list.
I think they were in a top. They're in the bottom half of the 25. Let me keep going through.
No, I just went through. Oh no,
that's crazy.
The Bushwhackers are 50.
That's
Cool
right.
49. The Quebecers are 48. The Smoking Guns 47. Strike Force 46. The Head Shrinkers 45.
That's a crazy.
Kane and X-Pac 44. Evolution 43. M&M 42.
What?
The Nasty Boys 41.
Hey,
Rated RKO 40.
Oh, wait.
They put Paul London and Kendrick and Brian Kendrick at 39. I don't want to even do this.
All right, hold on. Let's go through the rest of the comments.
Yeah, we're because this is making me mad. We've lost
because one, they expanded, and two, they have 3 to 5 against 1. Right? Okay, I understand that. Hardy's not top 5 in my. I mean, that's fair.
That's
in
fair,
your opinion, in your honest opinion.
But you gotta put him in the top 10.
So he's got So he's got the Briscoes, but he's got Jack and Gerald Briscoe, and I love that tag team. The Briscoes definitely. But again, if I was to go all time, those Briscoes,
all time, I'll give that one. That's fine.
No. In top 10, if I'm going top 10, I like Jack and Gerald. Okay,
yes.
But if I'm going all time, those Briscoes wouldn't be in the top 10. The other Briscoes would be.
You talking about Mark and Jay?
Mark and Jay.
Mark and Jay.
I respect the fuck out of that.
Outlaws was better than HBK and Triple H as a team.
Yes. I remember calling Delaney and Tommy Dreamer. Oh,
the Dudleys, definitely. Road Warriors, 100%.
Memory unlocked.
Dudleys. McFoley and Mikey Rip. Yep, Shipwreck. Or no, Whipwreck, that's right. Road Warriors changed wrestling. People started rooting for the heels, 100%. I loved them. W Outlaws or Demolition for me, all-time Rock and Roll Express.
See, I agree with him with that. I don't feel like the Outlaws get enough love.
No, they don't, because they were the you know, what you call it? They were the backup dancers.
Yeah, I know.
I hate to refer them as that, but
that's
the main act was Triple H, Shawn, and Chyna.
Yeah,
they were the main three. That was the act, and then everybody else behind them, they were the rest of the band.
Demolition Road Warriors. There you go. Prince Machiavelli and CHAZ, definitely.
So look, let me tell you something.
Right.
I didn't want to. I'm trying to be humble, y'all. I want to put it up there, but look, Prince Machiavelli and the Don CHAZ Evans is a top 2. All right, greatest tag team of all time.
Now I know.
And I'm not. And guess what? And it ain't number 2. God dang it.
Rock and Roll Express or Midnight Express. Rock and Roll Express, hands down, still one of the greatest teams. Yeah.
Rock and Roll Express always over.
No. Well, I mean, let's be real. Rock and Roll Express, it's hard to cheer against Rock and Roll Express. Like, you will never cheer against them. You know, it's just it's something about Gibson and the ability to get people so hyped about getting a tag, the hot tag. Like, he's the master at getting a hot tag. Like, I love him. What a sucky list. If you go check out that top 50 tag team list, because we did a special of it here on this podcast. It was me and I'm trying to remember. It was a dude out of LA. And I'm sorry, but it was a fun conversation that we had, and we were chopping up the list and talking about how we didn't agree with certain places that people were at and where we would have ranked them. I never saw him, to be honest. Rock and Roll Midnight Feud is great. It's legendary. Bobby Eaton, top 2 greatest managers of all time, and he's not number 1 in my book. Number 2.
All right, let's move on to our second debate topic. Let's get to it, because we had on a tangent about tag teams, and I knew was going to happen.
Sorry.
All right. That's perfectly fine, because as much as I love tag team wrestling, we can talk tag team wrestling all day long.
All day.
So look, I look, this is a good tangent I like. Yeah. All right, look, the Eliminator match. Someone posed the question, not posed the question, but someone said they were not a big fan of the Eliminator match, and it made me think, what's the point really? Because if said person beats the champion, they automatically get it. That puts them in line for a title shot. That's the point of the Eliminator, right? You beat the champion. All right, cool. You got a title shot. At this point, isn't it redundant to do? So pretty much the question is, does this make the champion look weak? All right, let's start this off. Let's start with you, Twitch. Then I'll go. Then Cliff, you can end it off.
I'm going to be brutally honest. I don't know much about the Eliminator matches. Like I said, I know you get a title shot, and that's about it. If it goes how I feel it goes, I'm not a fan of it. And yeah, I think it makes the champion look weak, because you're already, much like gauntlet matches, you're beating on somebody that's been ran through by how many fucking people at this point. But like I said, I don't know much about the Eliminator match, so I don't really feel like my opinion matters.
All right. I think it's a case by case basis. But
Okay.
I think the fact in a sense of specifically AEW sense, I think we use it too much to want it to the sense of it's kind of like lessens it, like the value of it isn't the same. Because I think the Eliminator match is a cool concept of the fact like, all right, cool. Well, we know you can beat the champion. Now, can you beat the champion, him or her? Can you beat the champion when it matters with the title on the line? In a sense of, I like it that, and coming from that standpoint. Now, there's so many different ways how you can get into it. We've seen AEW do a lot of different creative ways of the Eliminator. We saw, which I think was Daniel Bryan and, Bryan Danielson and Kenny, I think, did an Eliminator match where they went the time limit, right? Wasn't that their first?
Yeah,
wasn't that the
that's
first
his
match?
first match.
Their first, yeah, right. Their first match was the Eliminator, and they went to a time limit. So when you do things like that and you switch up the outcomes and you make not be so predictable, I don't necessarily see a problem with the Eliminator. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I did not foresee Anna Jay winning. Like, I just didn't see her carrying Mariah May. Mariah May's been on, like, we've even talked about on this show for the past, like, 3 months, really. Like, the summer was hers as far as AEW is concerned, as far as the woman. Like, she owned the summer. She's been on a roll, so I necessarily didn't see it happening. But it's cool. It's cool to see Anna Jay back, and it's cool to see her get a dub. So I don't necessarily think it makes the champion look weak. I think we should change the question to be, do they do it too much? Yes. But does it make the champion look weak? I don't think so. If you do it, if you make it make sense and if you do it right. What about you, Cliff?
I think they do it too much. I have to agree with you on that. And I think it doesn't make the champion look weak because now you have to beat the champion twice. And if you're a champion, hey, everybody says one bad night, right? You can lose a belt, you can lose the championship in one bad night. And so can you do it twice? I think what it should be though is that a person who beats the champion in an eliminator match gets a chance down the road at a future title shot. And then you just go from there. So let's say Tony Storm is running after the TBS championship, right? And let's say someone like, Queen, right, beats, Mercedes no name, right? Well, we know the program is really more tied around Tony Storm than it is around Queen. But what ends up happening is, down the line, also, if Sasha's still holding on or Mercedes still holding on that title, also Queen pops up. Hey, remember when I beat you this one time? Now I want my shot at that title. I don't think it should be the next week directly, right? So exactly how you said, right? Anna Jay beating Mariah May. Like, I think it should allow her to call for a championship match anytime that she wants versus now you got to beat the champ the next week, right? Because I think now at that point, it's like you're also giving her prep time. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, I lost by this, so I'm just going to – I think it should just be a surprise. I think you should be able to go in and say, well, I want to match with you this time on this day at this event, so that way you already know what's going on, what's prepped up,
Mm-hmm.
And then you can throw curveballs in there. Mariah May loses the title to, let's say Tony Storm comes back and wins the title. Well, now Mariah May has to wait. Now she has to, or not Mariah May, but Queen has to wait. Just wait for a future title shot because now she only beat Mariah. She didn't beat Tony. Now we have a whole new thing to like tie into it. So I don't know. I just think I think it's cool to have, but you gotta find different ways to utilize it versus like, well, you get a title shot next week. Congratulations. Like, you might have just told her like, oh yeah, you get a shot at Collision.
Well, so, Collision's a cool show.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying like you might as well just tell, okay, well, you won now, so in 3 days you get a title shot.
I mean, last night's Collision wasn't all that, but it's like, nah. Collision wasn't all that last night, but I like Collision sometimes. All right, let's do it. Let's have some fun. Let's do it.
Going back to, hold on. Andre and Haku better than Rock and Sock Connection.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Yeah, I like it. Jesse and Festus, love this tag team. Yo, R.I.P. Jesse. Actually, I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but
really,
yeah. I guess he had passed. Was it him that had passed away? Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong person. I thought he had passed away, or because I know Trevor Murdoch's partner passed away as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I thought I read somewhere that Jesse had passed away too. Used to be at non-title matches, right? I'm not sure I understand the argument or the concept. It's all scripted. You know, is Cliff old enough to be president? Absolutely, I am. Except for if I shave his beard, then I don't look like I'm old enough to be president. The only time Hankerson had a personality. No, Ray Gordy is still alive.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say.
Gordy.
I was sitting here
I
Googling
literally
it.
just looked it up. I was like, Ray Gordy's still alive. He's not dead.
Good.
So if a rumor on the IWC goes around that Ray Gordy died, I'm gonna get that rumor started here. Thanks to Cliff.
Right here, thanks. You guys are welcome.
But we also debunked it. So
we debunked it like 10 seconds.
But that still doesn't matter. That's the clip that's going to be plastered. No one cares about what said after that Jesse was dead. That's what he said. That's all that matters.
Touche.
It looks like his dad, then Dominic does.
All right, let's go. Dumbass of the week, real quick. Since Damien's not here, we'll do it. We'll do it anyway. Play that little video. Off rip, Damien's on there. Anytime that Damien's not here, okay, he has to be the dumbass of the week because this is his segment. All right, it's literally one of the most popular segments, and he's not here to do it. So because he's not here to do his job, and we have to, he's now a dumbass. So, any other three nominees?
Well, I mean, always and forever will be Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho.
And the IWC.
That's always your nominee.
That's always my nominee. Every time I turn around, I see something stupid. I'm like, what the hell?
Damien's my nominee, and he's already on there.
Oh no! Don't discard posts. Let's see what the chat. Anybody? Hey, chat. Who y'all think should be the dumbass of the week?
Hold on. His career that's it's just his career that's dead. The Cleveland Browns. That's not fair, man. Listen, I don't want the Cleveland Browns to be on here because Deshaun Watson tore his Achilles. Like I'm looking out for the man this time.
Anybody who paid for Tampa Bay Baltimore Ravens tickets, I'm putting them on there. I nominate them. If you got that kind of money, you need to go do something else.
Oh, how much are they? I mean, yeah, you probably
$1,000 a ticket.
Gee.
Man, people want to see Tampa lose that bad. That's crazy.
Like,
apparently,
it's like what? Like, because I mean, they were high for the Commanders game last week.
They said paid him $200 million to Deshaun Watson. Well, that dude also tore his ACL, and now he just tore his Achilles. So,
man,
he's set for life. Look, he's set because his career's done. His career's done. He's got and guess what? He's got his money. Biggest finesser of all time.
He got paid.
More power to that man.
That's a power move.
Terrible human being off the field and all that. But hey, biggest finesser right there.
I want to say Tony, but did Tony really do anything to deserve to be on this list this week?
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
What?
Yes, he did. I'm glad you brought that up because that reminded me of me and Cliff's conversation.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he did.
What'd he do?
So, this whole Adam Cole MJF story.
Yes, that's right. Yes, 100%.
Okay.
There are 4 nominees. Nothing needs to be explained about that.
Nope.
Everyone's confused about it. So there's no need to explain why we're putting Tony and the reason behind putting Tony. That like it's confusing because Adam Cole, you can't switch in any type of way. You were the bad person in that situation. Okay, like you didn't like you were the devil. You claim to be Satan. There's nothing else. Like even if you didn't do what you did, you claim to be Satan. You're a bad person. You're not gonna come. No. I won't be fooled. Okay, you fooled me once. Okay, shame. Okay, whatever that phrase that George Bush said. Yeah, that thing. A fool can't be fooled twice. Yeah, whatever it is. So look, who should
Did you
be
say the one
Damien's
that George
dumbass?
Bush said?
That's something he
Don't
said.
do
No,
that.
so the quote.
No, I know what you're trying to get at, but
Yeah.
don't quote him because he said, "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice,
Fool can't be fooled.
Can't get fooled again." J. Cole quoted him.
But look, here's who should be Damien's dumbass of the week. I got Damien, Fatal, Chris Jericho, the IWC, and Tony Khan. Any objections? Going once, going twice. Too late. I posted it.
Bet. I need everybody. If you are listening to this show at this current moment, I need you to go on Twitter and I need you to vote for Damien as dumbass of the week so I can clown him all week long.
So the post has been posted at 3count_pod. All right. The recent tweet right there. It's a poll. You'll see who should be Damien's dumbass of the week. Your nominees are Damien, Tony Khan, Chris Jericho, and the IWC. All right, so you got till 7:07 tomorrow to vote, folks. Get your votes in, and let's get on to our last topic.
Hold on, we got this one right here. Albert Hainsworth was the worst deal for who? Like, no. As long as Jamarcus Russell is around, I don't want to ever hear about this Albert Hainsworth deal. Okay, Jamarcus Russell, and mind you, I loathe that team in black and silver. That's how much I hate. That's how much I don't even refer to them by name. They don't even have a home to me. Okay, they went from LA to Oakland to LA to Las Vegas. Okay,
you mean that?
They paid Jamarcus Russell like an absurd amount of money. Okay, this man did zero work. Zero. Let me tell you about how much work that they gave Jamarcus Russell. They gave Jamarcus Russell a blank DVD because they didn't think he's watching film. They asked this man how he felt. The next day, they asked this man, "Hey, how did you like the new packages that we all did for the on the DVD?" And he was like, "Oh man, I'm all excited about the new playbook that we're putting in." Bro, it was a blank DVD. All he had to do was just throw the DVD in and he would have known it was fake. That's how much like this man swindled the damn black and silver team out of money. I can't. I was like, as long as that man was even mentioned in the league, bruh, it was like $88 million down the pisser for this man who played 2 years in the league. Get him
you
out.
Must be talking about that team that Tom Brady is partial owner of now.
Yeah, that gives me all the more reasons to dislike. Can't do it. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, won't get fooled again. That's the Bush. Redskins paid him $100 million. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you right now, there was a rookie contract deal that was just dumb. Back in the day. By the way, former RHS student Oki was the second pick in the 2024 UFL draft. Oh, congratulations. Bet. All right, let's go. Let's get this last debate topic because this is gonna be hilarious.
He's back.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
He's back.
Here we go.
I have woken him up from his nap. He is asked to be on this topic, and so I have allowed him to return back to the studio. Ladies and gentlemen, all right, he's the man, the myth, the legend. The only reason he has any merit on this show is because he is my little brother. I haven't said it in a while. Ladies and gentlemen, it is JJ!
How is he your little brother but looks older?
Because I was born before him.
Is that like your big little brother?
I hate you.
I forgot how my shtick went. Chitty banging, job searching every day in. But
okay. Thank you for keeping me off the streets because I'm on the sidewalks.
Oh my Jesus Christ!
All right, yep.
A bunch of other stuff. Hey, real quick, while we're here, yo, JJ, what's it like looking down on CHAZ?
Oh, that was that was so beautiful.
It took a lot of years, you know what I mean? You know, being the younger brother, you know, and it finally Like, please stop.
Okay, you can go. you
Chaz, what's it like to know that if you guys were both lifting at the same time and he stood behind you, his shoulders actually stand out further than yours?
So the next topic that we're going to talk about, and the topic that we're going to discuss, and what we're actually going to talk about, and not, my height deficiency.
It's not your fault you're vertically challenged.
It's not. You're right. It's not my fault. Anyway, all right, cool. Do wrestlers need to give their political opinions? All right. If you've been keeping up on the social media land the past 3 days.
It's been going on a couple days.
Yeah. A lot of wrestlers have been giving their political opinions. The Undertaker and Kane being one of them. Batista being another one. Tiffany Stratton, was another one. So let's talk about it. Do wrestlers need to give their political opinions? Who wants to go first?
Well, I mean, seeing how it says I endorse Cliff for president, let me go ahead and start this off. No, shut your fucking mouths. Shut your mouths. Because you know what? I care about your political opinions about as much as I care about Taylor Swift's opinion. I don't. Okay? I don't care who you endorse. I don't care who you want to put out there. And sure, I understand that you have an influence, right? And you want to give that influence, that opinion to your fans, right? Because sometimes they might not know who they should be looking at and what they should be doing, right? And so for you to speak on yourselves and talk about like, hey, I side with this person, I side with that person, great. I'm glad that's who you side with. We clearly see that Dwayne Johnson learned his lesson because remember, he was also a man who sat back and gave his opinion, and it hurt his career, for lack of a better term. You see that a lot of people were just not messing with Dwayne, and guess what Dwayne did this year? He's like, I'm not endorsing you, the candidate. So I think for wrestlers, I don't care which way you lean, left or right. I just think that when you give your political opinion, you're going to do two things, right? You're going to isolate some of your fans. Okay, so those people who are supporting you that have been diehards day ones because of your political opinion, you're going to hurt your bottom line, right? I don't only see this with just wrestlers. I see this with other people too, with comedians. I see this with late night TV show hosts, right? When you start trying to lean one way to get your audience to lean that way, you're going to get people who push back and people who aren't just going to mess with you. So at the end of the day, I think it's just best. I get it. You want to stand up for what you believe in, and by all means you can. And Dave Batista and Kane are kind of the exceptions to this rule when I say this, right? Dave Batista, no longer wrestling, just doing movies. It is what it is. Sure, you can give your political opinion all you want. While you're in the business, I think you should just keep your mouth shut, because at the end of the day, unless you're trying to cause that controversy to get people to hate you, cool. I guess that's one way. But when I see you, Kane obviously running as a Republican and, being the mayor of Knoxville County, or the mayor of Knoxville, cool. Nice. You're going to give your opinion, but you're no longer wrestling, right? You're not in the ring. Every once in a while you come back and do like an appearance, but you're no longer a full participant. I think at the end of the day, you just need to keep your nose out the business, out of that world, bro. Like, I don't give my political opinion, and I don't give it for a reason, because at the end of the day, I think when I decide to hang up the boots and call it a day, like, yeah, I'll give my 2 cents out there. And Taker is one of those guys who right now it's kind of on that exception as well. Like, you aren't fully participating. But when I see someone like Tiffany Stratton who's out here talking about, yeah, I stand with MAGA 2024, or I see someone like Cody talking about, hey, I'm not a MAGA person. You're showing which way you lean. I think you're going to isolate fans. You're going to end up hurting your bottom dollar. So I think ultimately, I'm looking out for the pockets of other people, of other wrestlers, versus like, hey, this is the thing. I just think keep your mouth shut, right? Unless it's a political issue you truly believe in, make your political statement known about the subject that you want to stand up for. But when you endorse a candidate, you're going to hurt your bottom line. I think you should just shut your mouth and let it be. Welcome to my TED Talk.
Who's next?
You.
Me?
Yep.
My opinion is this. I don't care. You can vote for who you want to, endorse who you want. I have my. Everyone, their opinion doesn't affect me. That's my stance on it. To be completely honest, do they need to give it? No. But at the same time, I know for me personally, It doesn't bother me to the stand. Like, you're not gonna sway me, because like I think that's the habit stance is like, I think we get some of these celebrities and whatnot because people are fans of them, they like them, that'll help sway them over. Like, oh, you're a fan of that person. I don't think that's necessarily the right thing to go, and you shouldn't base your votes off celebrities.
But it works.
Yes, absolutely, it does work.
For some people, for that general audience, for people that they want to sway, they get the sway.
Correct. So, and with that, it it doesn't affect me. Like, so okay, cool. Taker's supporting Trump. All right, cool. You endorse. All right, fine. Like, I mean, that's not. If you really follow Taker,
shocker. That's
not really a shocker. It's not really that. It's not really news. Based off just how Taker's comments and stuff, the things he's supported in the past. So it's not really much of a shocker, really. So, I agree with you, Clip. Like, a lot of these people who, except for, I know Tiffany Stratton is the only other person who's actually currently wrestling. A lot of the wrestlers who are making these political opinions and these statements aren't current wrestlers.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of them are either retired or they just don't wrestle anymore. So, I don't care. It does not affect me. It just does not affect me.
And like, and to go to your point too, like, if Hulk Hogan is a perfect example of this, right? Hulk Hogan, we saw him, at the RNC, right, give his opinion about, give his endorsement to Trump, right? We don't like Hulk Hogan because he's a Republican. We don't like Hulk Hogan because he said some shit that he shouldn't have been saying behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Like, that's why nobody fucks with Hulk Hogan. But it's like, when you come out and you're supporting Trump, hey, whatever, bro. Like, we don't really care. Again, it goes back to my opinion. It's like, we don't care. Like, we shouldn't be caring. We shouldn't be caring what one man thinks. That's where I'm at.
What you got, JJ? Go ahead.
All right. So it was funny enough. We were sort of talking about this at the house before I got here, and that's what made me get on the show. At the end of the day, sadly, everything is politicized to an extent. Everything is politics, when you get down. So no matter what, there's always a discussion about politics, no matter what. Now, I agree with Cliff in the sense of, if, from a business standpoint, you don't want to hurt your bottom dollar, don't endorse nobody. You just keep it moving. You just tell people, hey, just go out and vote. You know what I mean? Do your due diligence as an American citizen and go vote. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. Just go vote.
That's what that.
And just keep it pushing. But in terms of telling people that if they want to express their opinion, go for it. You know what I mean? But, from a business standpoint, everything's political. Like, when people say, keep politics out of wrestling, it'll never happen. Because even in sports, you can't tell the story of sports without the politics. Like 30 years ago, football, people thought that black quarterbacks weren't smart enough to play quarterback. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It's a terrible thing that was even a discussion. And this is only like 30 years ago.
Yep. And
we still somehow these talking points, somehow creep up to the surface a little bit, even with today's players, where it's racist or maybe stereotypical remarks where it's like, come on. You know what I mean? Let's do better. You know what I mean? Let's do better. And like to critique their game, not make racial, remarks, because it's not right. So I think you're free to express your opinion. That's why we're in the United States of America. We're free to express your opinion, but you're not freedom of consequence. If you decide, hey, I'm going to support Trump or I'm going to support Kamala Harris, there's going to be your consequence might be that some of your fans aren't going to like you. And in this case, then that's fine. If you are a Kamala fan, Trump fan, whatever, and one of your favorite wrestlers, all right, you don't like them, don't follow them on social media. Just block it, move on. Simple. Keep it pushing.
I just seen a comment. I want to pull it up. I do. Because I never thought about it like this, but it's got it's got a point. I think you see the comment too. So I want to pull it up. Wait a minute. Come on. How do you have a stylus thing that doesn't work? Come on. Okay.
Really hard.
There we go. Oh, I should probably read it out loud, right? For our
Yeah,
audience.
because people, I'll read that out. There's no problem.
Sorry.
I got you. I got you. I think it's hypocritical that people in Baltimore complain about kneeling are the same ones who yell "oh" during the anthem.
Boom, bingo. Because you know what's funny enough?
Just
I'm
as
not even gonna lie.
disrespectful.
I'm not even gonna lie. I was at Pennsylvania once. You know what I mean? Because I was in Millersville, Pennsylvania, whatever. During the national anthem, I yelled, "Oh!" You know what I mean?
I did it in Delaware.
And everybody just went,
People look at you like you are a godless heathen.
I just went, "Oh, I keep forgetting I'm not in."
I'm not in Baltimore anymore.
I'm not in Maryland. I'm like, "Oh crap."
What you call it? Red Dog was there when I did it. We were at a show. We were at 1CW in Delaware. National anthem being played. I think somebody was singing. And where all the rest of we're in Gorilla. Listen, and I just just out of I'm loud. Y'all know I'm loud, and I just Everyone looks back at me. The few Baltimore people that are there start cracking up. Good friend, Big Unc, I call him Unc, but Tiberius shakes his head at me, puts his hand and goes, "Yeah, you don't do that here." It's a great point. I just wanted to bring that comment up to the front because go ahead, Cliff. No, go ahead.
No, it just goes back to like the whole kneeling thing and people yelling "oh," like, listen, like I'm the only veteran here, like on this podcast, and like unless Lou's here, then obviously Lou and I are both vets. And it's funny because like I like as a military person, like I don't do those things, right? I don't yell "oh" during the national anthem. I don't kneel, right? But I do respect those who do it, right? Because obviously we have the freedom of speech. You have the right to do those things. And I know a lot of people be like, "This is disrespectful. You're making a mockery of the military or this, that, and the other." And I always looked at it like, bro, like, listen, hey, this is the reason why I fought for these things was this is your right to be able to do those things, whether you don't like them or not. That's not on me. Like, I sat back and I'll watch you express your rights. So I am 100% for whatever you want to do. And then there were certain people who would turn their back on the flags. And I think that might be a little bit much because I'm like, yo, you're literally turning your back on the same nation that is giving you the opportunity to say what you want to say. Like, and I'm not here for that. But sorry, I've been holding on to that for like a few years, and I've thought about it forever. And I'm like, bro, like, this is one of the few things where I'm just kind of like, I don't really care. Because honestly, like, all military people, like if civilians understood what it meant, right, that you had to stand still while the national anthem was playing, you don't get to say those things. You don't get to do those things. Like when you're on a military base, you're not doing that. You're not yelling, "oh," you're not giving a knee. You're not doing those things. You're at attention. You're there until the last note is played. Like, you're not doing it. So for me, when I see civilians doing it, I'm like, hey, good on that person. I love that. And I'm there for that. But when I saw like, and I get the NFL is a business, right? When the NFL was like, we're going to find people who kneel, I'm like, I don't know why. I mean, I get it, right? You have a business to run up, and sure, teams are losing money, but at the end of the day, like, they're able to express, and in their contract, it doesn't say they have to stand at attention for the Pledge of Allegiance. It just says, they have to be there unless the team votes otherwise.
All right, Twitch, you got your 2 cents.
My guy in the dust a little bit. Sorry about that.
Let me stretch for a moment here. Get ready to piss some people off. I pay for your entertainment, not your fucking opinion. Straight the fuck up. I pay for your entertainment, not your fucking opinion. If you want to go vote for Kamala Harris, if you want to go vote for Donald Trump, there is a fucking reason it is an anonymous ballot.
There you go.
Yep. Yeah.
wholeheartedly. Cliff said it best. At some point or another, if you go out and voice your opinion on politics, you are going to isolate some of your audience. No matter who the fuck it is.
Yep.
I think as entertainers, you need to stay in your fucking lane. By all means, you have the right to your opinion. But your opinion ends when you start trashing your fans. Like, at that point, your opinion is no longer valid. You are just a piece of shit caught up in the system. And you are no longer, my money is no longer valid to you. I feel like people get so caught up in what the Undertaker thinks. If you didn't know, the Undertaker is from fucking Texas, born and raised. Let me tell you, it is no surprise that man is a Republican.
Yeah.
If you are offended by the fact that Kane, the mayor of Knox County, is a Republican, you're fucking crazy. Dave Bautista is born and raised in D.C. If you are surprised he is a Democrat, you are absolutely bonkers. These people have the right to their opinion. You don't have the right to trash somebody for their political beliefs. As a celebrity, as an entertainer, as a wrestler, as a former manager trying to find some way to stay relevant because your podcast sucks. You know where I'm going.
That man still has me blocked, which I'm proud.
Bro, I am on a fucking mission to get him to block me now. I wish he would.
I just think
no, we can say his name, Jim Cornette.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about Jim Cornette. You ain't gotta say.
I was like, is it Jimbo?
It is.
Yes,
Jimbo.
I am talking about
Jim
Mr.
Cornette.
I was like, is it Jimbo?
I'm talking about Mr. Jimmy Jim because I used to like your podcast until you started hating and trashing people for their political beliefs. In my mind, you are a trash human being. Thank you, fuck you, bye, bitch.
Again, man. Again, like, hey, you and listen, like, I'm not trying to tell people, like, when I'm saying, like, just don't voice your opinion on political issues or a candidate, right? On a candidate, by all means, please do your best not to endorse one or the other. Now, if you have a political opinion that you want to get off your chest, trans rights are human rights, 100%, right? I agree. Whether you're pro-choice or pro-life, when you make that statement, you make that statement, right? You know, when this comes to if you're a 2A or if you're not 2A, like, I 100% will want to stand by you depending on how your political opinion is. But once you go to endorse a candidate and tell your people to go vote for this other candidate because you're like XYZ, PDQ, whatever you want to say out there, like, yo, dude, I'm not hearing you anymore. I'm just not. I don't care. Like, I just don't, because you'd be like, well, this person over here doesn't believe in this and this person over here doesn't believe in that. I'm like, cool. So what? Like, at the end of the day, to me, it's so what? Like, when I see CM Punk when he was at AEW and he was standing next to people who had signs that says trans rights are human rights, I was 100% on board. I'm like, yeah, no, he's right. Like, it's crazy that we have to have that conversation, but he's right. But when I look at people and they're like, yo, you know, vote for Kamala Harris because Trump's not a real man. Like, yo, what? Shut up, bro. Like, I don't need to hear you. Like, I don't care, bro. Like, I just don't care about your opinion. When I see
your own opinion and your own thoughts and just vote at the polls how you vote.
Yeah, and I'm glad. And again, I'm glad you're giving your opinion, right?
Yeah.
But just understand, at the end of the day, when you look back and you're like, man, this movie was supposed to make $100 million and it only made like 75. Gee, I wonder why. You know what I mean? Like, it's just saying, when you put your belief out there and then you start to see a downgrade in your stuff, like, I don't want to. I hate getting into this topic, but when I look at Carol Danvers, right? What's her name?
Brie Larson.
Okay. Brie Larson made a comment in a presser, and then, like, all of a sudden, like, less and less people were interested about Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is a badass movie, but you isolated a fan base.
Yeah.
And that was on you because you wanted to say something. And sure, I'm glad that you did, but there are repercussions to those. There are consequences. There are consequences to when you say something. So if you're ready to hang and bang and let those be a problem, then it is a thing. So, I'm just saying, like,
The only thing that I can really stress to people is do your own research. That's the best thing you can do when it comes to politicians and shit. Do your own research.
Formulate your own opinions, and then whatever you have, you know what I mean. Just is what you believe. Okay.
Don't let celebrities sway your opinion. Don't let politicians even sway your opinion. You don't have to vote for one or the other. There is a third option in there called a write-in. If you don't agree with what these people think, then formulate your own opinion and find somebody you do agree with.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. If you don't want to vote for a D or an R, vote for RD, Red Dog. This guy right here. Vote me. Vote Cliff for president. I'll be okay with it.
I would totally support a Cliff JJ administration.
I mean, I'm not of age.
He's not old enough.
I'm not old enough.
No. Only listen, JJ.
Only the president has
to be 35.
Vice president ain't got to be a certain age.
I thought I knew the president had to be 35. I didn't know the vice president had to be.
Are you older than 21?
Yes, I am.
You can be vice president.
I did not know that. Learn something new every day.
There you go, man.
Pick him over me?
I didn't say that.
You know what?
Said, once he put the ticket out there, I just had to let him know the facts. Like, he does not have to be 35.
I did not know that. Guess what? I learn something new every day.
There you go.
I didn't know that. I'd pick him over you, CHAZ.
Let's go. Let's run through these comments.
Run through the comments so we can wrap this up.
that is interesting. Yeah. I mean, it's not like the likelihood of that happening. But
puberty is a hell of a
drug. You never know.
I grew up in a middle class family. I wonder where I heard that before. Speaking of this debate topic. Said thank you, Red Dog. The problem is that the sheeple think that they do know what they're doing. That's 100% insane. That's 100% true. Good evening. Good evening. Yeah, they made Jon Stewart a political pundit. He's a fucking comedian. You know what though? Jon Stewart, as long as he's standing up for for veterans and trying to get health care to them, as well as taking care of the firefighters and the policemen of 9/11, bro, I'll ride with that dude. I 100% love what he's all about. He's a tag team champion. I'm voting for Mr. Bob Backlund. No, vote for Red Dog, first of all. I endorse me. Because you're not gullible or ignorant.
No, he is ignorant.
Purely.
100%.
Politics is a second old profession, and it bears much resemblance to the first. Facts, because you have to sell yourself for the vote.
Yep.
Kind of like have to sell other things. I wonder what Damien's opinion on this topic would be. He wouldn't give a fuck.
He wouldn't care.
He wouldn't care. It just full.
He would just say it in just a more wild way.
Yeah, he'd just be like, "Who gives a fuck?" Like that's all he would say. Yeah, I'm gonna vote. We're going to vote for so and so because Hulk Hogan said to. You would be surprised on how many
idiotic people would saying it like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I am voting for someone because someone else told me to.
Listen, let me keep it 100. Right, when 9/11 happened, right? MTV brought Ja Rule on to talk about how he felt about what happened. You know what I thought to myself? Who the fuck cares? I need some answers. I need the president to tell me some shit. I need a senator to tell me some shit. I need the governor, my mayor of my town of with 1,900 people. I need to know their opinion. I need to know what plans are, just in case some shit happens. Shut Ja Rule up. I do not care. And guess what they did? They brought this man back during COVID and ask this man how he's dealing with this shit. I guess what? Again, I do not care for a man who got first three rows of his first show on his comeback tour bought out by 50 Cent. I don't care about that man's opinion. I don't care. I don't care. I don't want to know. But people are like, yo, I gotta hang on with whatever T Swift says. I'm gonna vote that way too. Like, yo, have an opinion about it yourself. Like, don't listen to somebody because they could be a brain dead idiot, and you're just trying to listen to them. Again, no one cares what Ja Rule thinks. It doesn't matter what the Undertaker thinks. 100%. We had this opinion already, and I don't have a problem with that. Okay, unless you're a hypocrite, 100%, right? Then stop bitching about kneeling, 100%. Not you, just in general. Again, agree. Adore for turned his back. Facts. Dang, we got a lot of opinions in here. Never got to hate Kaepernick dead. You know what? Keep it a $1.50. I don't understand. I don't understand because so many people kept talking about how he was a cancer. And for a dude who was like 16-4 touchdown interception ratios with 2,000 yards passing, and he still had 4 games left, I don't understand. Like,
yeah, the year before that, they were praising him as he's a great fucking quarterback, and we love Kaepernick, and damn, I wish he was my quarterback. And
no, it was crazy. It was crazy. Not all due disrespect to anybody who blackballed him. Fuck you. We the people, 100%. The politicians doing the same thing about their opponents and people who support them, 100%. Like, those guys suck though.
It builds division. Yeah, it builds division. It's
yes, Cornette.
Cornette. Yep. I like his wrestling opinions. Sure.
I like his wrestling stories.
Yeah, I do love his wrestling stories. Yeah, but he hates Russo, so that's a plus. Well, yeah, but this isn't a case of the enemy of my enemy is my ally because we don't.
No.
Here's why I don't vote anymore. I'm tired of party lines on every issue, and it's about the money instead of the people. Well, I'm gonna encourage you to still continue to vote because even though I do understand your opinion, there is a third option out there, and you can always vote third option. So,
Red Dog is that third option.
That is me. So when you write in, just write in me. Right? If you know my full name, write my full name in. Don't write Red Dog because people can be like, "Who the fuck?" Is that?
I'll make sure we go live. We'll go live as the votes are being counted to say like, "Hey, Red Dog's celebration speech." Yo, we're going to do that.
Do it.
We're going to do that. Sorry,
election day. We're going to talk about
for Red Dog running for. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're doing that.
Oh man,
and we're all for it. Just for the fun of it now.
You can't go against your party without being ostracized. Larry Hogan. This is true, but Larry Hogan is still like he's got a lot of strong supporters behind him, and he's doing his thing. I agree with Zeb Coulter and Jack Thwagger.
Jack Thwagger.
What's up, gentlemen? What's going on? But even facts aren't facts anymore. You know, that's weird. They talk about this all the time about. I don't know if you guys saw it recently, but they're talking about how I'm gonna say a certain former presidential candidate said that the First Amendment is getting in the way of combating misinformation. I was like,
I saw that.
The way you combat misinformation is with facts. Yes, data, facts, things that matter, not your opinion, because your opinion, facts don't care about your opinion. Sorry,
no,
it is what it is. Just like the religious books, they're interpreted in a way that the people, the person wants to interpret.
Yeah.
That right there.
Agreed. Senator 30, Representative 25. I swear if Rush Limbaugh had told people that the world was going to end tomorrow, there would have been a mass suicide in America. This is true.
Possibility.
Will people vote for a president named Clifford? They better.
They will.
Well, this person will.
This person is like
this guy is.
Like, I myself in. I don't care what people have to say. Facts can be manipulated. Well, then those will be called lies.
Yeah,
but
that's
like
the end.
There's a such thing as gravity. Gravity is fact.
Yeah,
you can't change it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you can if you're in outer space.
Again.
On that note, thank you.
Real quick, before we go away with this,
gravity
I will tell you this. Right?
I mean, gravity still exists. You know what I mean? That's the fact.
okay, so I wanna talk about this real quick. So facts can be manipulated, right? But then no longer it becomes a fact, right? Those become misinterpreted, right? Misinterpreted facts, they become lies, their own truth. But what you can do, and something that should be talked about, is that your intent on how you analyze the facts
Yes.
can be can be changed, right? Neil deGrasse Tyson has a beautiful mind for saying this, right? And he talks about all the time that when you do a study, you have to go into the study neutral minded, because if you go in there with an intent, then you can change and you can alter how the study is done. So yes, facts can be manipulated, but that means that your intent is to manipulate the facts, not the other way. So again, you're just putting your opinion and your bias into those facts. So again, Cliff Miller for 2024. There you go. Now you got my full name, so just write that in. But yeah, I think that it's crazy that that's a thing. So yeah, you should vote me in, because I am trying to represent the people.
All right. On that note, thank you for watching. All right. Thank you for coming on. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Go
back to my nap.
But I said you can go back to your nap.
You.
You'll never see him for another about a year and a half.
No, but I'm gonna request him
Hopefully,
next
like
week.
on brand accurate. Too.
Yeah, I know it's on brand accurate. You won't be back on this show for like another year and a half, or when I like try to bribe you. So yeah.
Just don't
Yeah.
show up.
So, but all right, cool. So with that being said, make sure you hit that follow button. All right, on all your favorite social media platforms. All right, hit that subscribe button on YouTube, follow button on Twitch, that like button on Facebook. Share it with your friends. Tell your friends about the 3 Count Podcast. All right, we do. We're funny, but we're a comedically informative podcast, as you can see on the ticker below. Comedically informative. But I want to give the results of the poll, because I have.
Can't wait.
Let's hear it, Chaz.
Yeah, let's do.
Just gonna get ready to send a text message right now.
With 50% of the votes,
50%.
The winner of Damien's Dumbass of the Week, none other than Damien Fatal.
I love each and every one of you who voted for him.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Damien Fatal is the Dumbass of the Week. You can. Oh, this is gonna be funny. I can't wait to get that phone call. So, if you still want to vote, you can still vote. But yeah, Damien Fatal is the winner. 25% is Chris Jericho. The other 25% is the IWC. Tony Khan gets a break or a pass as of right now. But as this poll has done in previous weeks, this can also change within the next couple of hours. But as of right now, ladies and gentlemen, Damien is the Dumbass of the Week. So as of right now, Twitch, you have as of right now, a temporary interim victory. So soak in it, bathe in it.
That's one more than Damien's got.
Oh man. Thank you for checking out this edition of CHAZ and Friends. Be on the lookout for Now Into the Ring, our other shows, Now Into the Ring 201, The Villains Lounge, the Villains Lounge Watch Alongs, all of our other shows. Make sure you stay tuned in, stay locked in, and watch another episode of CHAZ and Friends. Just cause we're kind of funny, especially one with Twitch and that doesn't have Damien. So if you go like a couple months ago, Damien was also missing. Okay,
he was.
You're right. It was just the 3 of us again. So you should go check that show out. I think Damien was Dumbass of the Week that time too. So you should go back. You should go back and watch that episode. Go on. That's your thing. Get me out of here.
Oh,
man.
I love it.
Kawaii.
Hey guys, it's the host of the 3 Count, Chaz Evans here. Make sure to let you know that I don't run shit, I don't do shit, I just talk shit. And make sure you subscribe to our podcast What else did you do? You should also follow us on all social medias. That's the Facebook at 3 Count Podcast, the Instagram at 3 Count Pod, and the Twitter at 3count_pod. Also, if you like us a lot, you should definitely buy a t-shirt at prowrestlingtees.com/3countpod, and that's the number 3. Don't be an idiot and type in THREE, because you're not going to find anything. So make sure you follow us at 3 Count Pod or 3count_pod on Twitter and buy a shirt. Be there or be somewhere else.